Hola, muy buenos dias, continuous liners. This is Meagan Burns coming to you live from the street. Wi-Fi no es bueno aquí. Aquí no es fuerte, huh? Or is it okay? The Wi-Fi, is it okay aquí? Because it keeps going.
Sí, es que falla mucho.
It goes.
Sí, sube y baja.
Okay. Hi, everyone. This is Meagan. I just heard that the Wi-Fi is no bueno here. So we'll give it a whirl, see how it goes. I am here at Cafe Murmillo, which has honestly got some of the coolest murals in San Miguel for like inside the place. This cafe is pretty close to my house, and they're starting to do more and more live music. I've seen like really cool jazz bands here, and I just saw they have a sign right there, and it says Pat Metheny and Chick Corea are going to be here in March. Well, we are in March, isn't that wild? So yeah, this is a happening hip, cool place, and I just got my latte delivered. Look at that. Where's my handle? Isn't that beautiful? Muy buenos dias, everyone. Hope you're all doing okay. Delicious. Yeah, I hope you're doing okay. Things are kind of weird these days, aren't they? There's some stress. There's absolutely there's been some stress in the airwaves for a while, but the news out of the United States, honestly, is just getting weirder and weirder all the time. Like, I can't even believe this is the world we're in now. It's just ungodly. I mean, I wrote an article this morning about censorship, and, it's like people are even afraid to talk about it. Like, look at how the press is treating things. They're not even asking any real questions because they're afraid, right? Everyone's afraid, except for the people who should be afraid. They're not afraid. Anyways, before I go off on all that, I'm going to do some line warm-ups here in this beautiful cafe here in San Miguel de Allende. I'm super grateful to be here in Mexico. I'm super grateful to be here in Mexico. Have I said that? And, it's not like I came here to escape all that, but I came here because as an artist, well, there was a number of reasons why I came to San Miguel. I first came here when I'm from Chicago, and I was living and working in Chicago, and I was a freelancer. I did production corporate events, right? And I did a big project for AT&T, I think it was, in Chicago all winter, was there all winter long, and I was like, I planned a 3-month sabbatical here to San Miguel de Allende after that project finished. So that was my first time coming here. So I came here for a sabbatical, and I came here to teach dance. Because back then I was a almost certified Gabriel Roth 5 rhythms instructor wouldn't be the right word. I was a facilitator of it, right? And because in order to get certified to be a Gabriel Roth 5 rhythms dance instructor, it's literally like you have to get educated in as a therapist, right? Because the kind of creative, expressive dance movement oftentimes brought up feelings that needed to be dealt with, right? So I came here on a sabbatical. Someone had called me here and said, hey, the dance instructor gal is pregnant and she's leaving. Why don't you come on down? And I said, well, that coincides with my work gig ending, and I want to get out of Chicago at winter time and come to San Miguel. And that's what I did, and I did that class at Bellas Artes, and then it's still going today, but I think it's called, I forget what it's called, but it's Creative Expressive Movement, and now it's out in Cieneguita. But literally, when I came here, that was like, that's what I was doing, and it was quite, though those were strange days indeed, right? So I didn't come here to escape the political nightmare. But I know a lot of people are now they're escaping, right? With good reason, my God. I mean, it's weird to think about what that country is going to look like in 1 year, because like all these things are happening so fast and furiously. I don't know that anyone, I mean, I'm not there, but it just seems like, how do you even like take time to figure out what just happened when it just keeps happening, right? I saw something that really stuck in my mind. One of the guys who was fired from one of the parks, the big parks, Yosemite or something like that. And he said, I'm the guy that cleans up the dirty diapers from the park. And you're not going to believe how many dirty diapers you're going to see if I'm not there. And I was like, it's stuff like that, like little things. I mean, there's big things too. Oh, you fire all the nuclear inspectors, right? Oh, well, and the Ebola guys and big things like that. But I mean, like just this guy talking about, yeah, I'm the one that cleans up all the dirty diapers from the park, because that's what people do. They chuck their dirty diapers, right? And so it's sort of chilling, right? It's chilling. So, you know, and as an artist, I like to draw things, in case you didn't know. And I have like a whole roster of things that I've drawn to get my angst out, right? Like I use it to get my angst out when I make him like a little tiny, stupid, dumb person who thinks he's a king, right? It makes me feel good to do that, to draw like that, right? But then it occurred to me at some point, maybe I shouldn't do that, right? Like not that I'm out there doing nefarious things, but I don't want to bring attention to myself. I don't want anything to be, it's like we have to think about these things now. I mean, look at this student. And where is he? Or where was he? I want to say Colorado, but, there's like things that are happening that as Americans, we just got comfortable with them. Comfortable is not even the right word, right? We just, part of the American experience was that we had some liberties. Land of the free, right? We had some liberties. We were able to peacefully protest. We were able to express our opinions. We were able to have differentiating opinions, right? And, I guess throughout the years, I've often heard, don't take it for granted. Don't, and it rings differently now what to think about, like, don't take it for granted. One of the people I like to learn from is Carolyn Mace. Let me have a little sip of my beautiful latte before it gets too cold. And I absolutely remember her saying, she was my neighbor in Oak Park, by the way. She liked Henry, my dog, and I liked her dog. I can't remember his name, but we would see each other at the dog park. She kind of reminds me of the Judge Judy of the spiritual world. She's kind of like no nonsense, chop, chop, get to it. So I always liked, and then she was also super spiritual, and she had great regard for Ireland and Irish and the Catholics, right? She helped me to understand the Catholics. Not that I want to be a part of that again, but she helped make me understand it. Helped me to understand it, not make me understand it. Okay, anyways, let me back this up. So, I remember in one of her lectures, she said, you are not guaranteed a life free from nuclear disaster. And I remember when I heard those words that she spoke, and maybe I paused and maybe I kind of looked up and thought about it, like, as an American in the genre in the era that I have grown up with, I have had it pretty darn easy. I have had a pretty darn life's challenging, right? There's always things. But, generally speaking, the American experience, while now maybe it's over very different, growing up, it was pretty freaking ideal, right? I grew up in the farmlands of northern Illinois, suburb of Chicago. My grandparents went there as part of the White Flight. They were West Side Chicago, Oak Park, Madison, Oak Park, River Forest, one other city. West Side Irish, as they're called, is what, where my family originated from. And they moved out to the suburbs as part of the White Flight, right? That's the American experience, right? The White Flight. And so growing up out on the farmlands, my mom met my dad out there, and my dad and his parents had a farm in Huntley, a dairy farm. So I spent my first few years on a dairy farm in Huntley, Illinois, right? And then moved to a suburb a little bit closer inland to Chicago. And so, but it wasn't like a suburb like the suburbs are now. It was literally cornfields and riding the bike and kicking the can and staying out till it got dark and not wearing helmets and fireworks on the 4th of July, barbecue, running barefoot, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, there was trauma. Yeah, there was drama. There was a lot of alcoholism. Also the human experience, right? Not just the American experience. The human experience is addiction and trauma and all that. So, growing up out there in the country, I hated it. I couldn't wait to get out. I was like, get me out of this small podunk city. And I went to Chicago as soon as I could. And now here I am in Mexico. There's my life right there. But that American experience was pretty darn fun. I have really good memories of growing up out there. And it's just, so to think about, you're never guaranteed a life free of nuclear disaster, because that is a reality for a lot of people. Like, look at all the wartime situations that are going on right now, the constant threat of war, violence, destruction. Right now, the destruction, I know there's literally physical destruction, but the destruction that is being clanged around America is the destruction of institutions, but it's a lot of words right now, a lot of words, destructive words. It's not like actual bombs bursting in air, which is a whole different kind of destruction, right? So this is a destruction that is like, it's leaving us to wonder, what does this mean? What does this mean that everything is going away, that everything is being torn down? What does that mean? I don't know. What does it mean? What does it mean there's no more Department of Education? What does it mean there's no more weather service? What do you mean there's no USDA? What do you mean there's no, like, all these things that we've just heard our whole lives, and now they're just, now I know that some of them are being reactivated because everything he's doing, pretty much everything he's doing is illegal, but that's how he rolls, right? And then you got that whole autistic Nazi in there too, my God. So it's a lot of like, what does it mean? This whole thing with Canada. My God, Canada. Like, what are you doing to Canada? What are you doing to Canada? Like, it's a head scratcher. It would be hilarious if it wasn't so damaging, right? So anyways, a lot of it is like super heady stuff. Now I know that like tariffs are real and raising prices are real. And, so there's real destruction, but it's kind of hard to like I'll speak for myself. It's a little hard to wrap my head around, like, what is literally going on? And so sometimes I go, I can't even think about what's going on. I'm just going to have a sip of my coffee and do some drawing and not think about it. I had a drama with my passport this week. I got the email that it was being mailed back to me, and then the girl downstairs in the house signed for it, and then no one could find the package. No one could find the package, and I made myself sick over it. I thought my passport was lost. Turns out that wasn't my passport being sent. It was a different package, but I tore the house apart thinking that the one that was signed for, because I don't get many packages from DHL that you have to sign for. Anyways, my passport is not lost, but I lost my mind for a few hours thinking that it was, right? So, and that's the thing that, like, I was super stressed out because I'm so stressed out about these freaks up there. I'm afraid, like, to send in my passport for renewal to the American government. I was assured that department is still running. They haven't fired those people, and it's been like almost 2 months, right? So since January, right? So, but now the email says it's on its way back to me. But that has been nerve-wracking to know that, to not have my passport, and to not, who can trust the American government right now? My God, who trusts them? right? Did we ever have trust in them? I think so. I mean, look at the Biden days. We didn't have like the drama of like, what did that freak say today, right? He, yeah, there was some of that, but it wasn't like, who did he alienate today? Who did he offend? Oh, did he poop in his pants? No, that's this guy. Oh my God. Look at these cool murals. It is amazing in here. So, anyways, I don't know how to behave anymore in this climate. Well, in this climate it's hot, so I just dress lightly. But in this climate of like accelerated, elevated, what are you doing? What are you saying? Who are you talking to? Right? Like, it's a strange thing. It's kind of like, I remember that whole thing with, how can we not forget the whole COVID thing, right? It was like, stay in your house and don't go see anyone. And it was a very lonely thing, especially for those of us who lived alone. Like, stay in your house and just don't go anywhere, right? So what a mind game that was, right? I'm not here to say anything about the COVID. I'm just saying the reality of, like, my God, sit in your house and be quiet. How hard that was, right? And now we're a few years later where we're still the repercussions of that whole situation. Now it's like, be careful what you say to people. Be careful what you say, right? I'm being recorded right now. Obviously, I hit the button, right? So you just have to think about these things, right? I see the people on Facebook going, I don't care, I know I may get blah, blah, but I don't care, I'm so angry. And I get that, right? But at the same time, I don't really want to attract that, right? I really don't. But I'm angry and I want to say things, but then I'm like, I don't know what will happen if I say something, right? So I look to the skies and I just think about the bigger picture of, like, there's a reason for this destruction. It is time for these institutions. It is time for these things to come down, right? The fall of the American empire. And that guy, the orange guy, he is the mechanic. He thinks he's the savior, but he's the one that's going to bring it all down, right? Because it's time for a new civilization. Star Wars, hello. So, like, what do you do to get through it? I don't know. Here, I'll show you what I do. Well, I'm doing what I'm doing, but I also do this too, right? Like, when the going gets weird, I just go into my pattern, continuous line pattern. You know why? Because it makes me feel better, and it allows me to detach from the fear and the uncertainty, right? And I do continuous line warm-ups because there's something about it. It's channeling, and it helps me drill down into my core, right? Because when you're up here going, oh my God, the world is ending and the maniacs are being maniacs and everything is falling down and everyone is scared and everyone is scared, right? That's all up here. But, like, as I do drawing exercises and when I, like, just detach and just kind of go into not worrying about being right or correct or whatever, I go into here. Mata de Monte. It's full moon today, right there, baby. Full moon, full Monte. And so by doing that, channeling, I go down, 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 down. The energy is more up here. It's like here. It's like it is much closer to my core, right? There's the woo-woo for the day, right? Because that's what literally I have to do because it's insane. So take good care. Keep drawing. Keep telling your stories. My continuous line advanced and my continuous line beginners both are going super well. I'm loving having the beginners in there because it's good for me. It's good for my mind. It kind of brings me back to the principles. But then the advance is also a great way to push my creativity and push myself because I am a person that will like draw that building and the roof is there and the window is there and the plant is there. But by pushing myself in the advanced, I'm like, oh, look, there's like actually a monster over there and there's a bird with an eyeball and there's two eyes looking at, this is why I love Mexico, the mythical, magical, look at all these beautiful murals, right? Like this is a great place to just practice the mythical, magical side of life, which is still there and which is something I absolutely lean into. When this reality is too weird, I just go into that, right? And I draw queens and warrior women, and we do a lot of that in my classes. We draw a lot of strong women because it's a good reminder. And some I have been told, oh, this is just like kindergarten. We're drawing superheroes and castles and flying horses, and I'm like, yeah, and that's like the best medicine in the world. We're drawing our superheroes. What do I want to do? Draw like people burning at the stake? Do I want to draw kings and harmful idiots? No, I'm going to draw queens and warriors and strong women and full moons and jaguars and stay strong, my friends. Stay sovereign. Stay in your core, okay? Have a great weekend. I'll see you. Oh, and happy St. Patty's Day. That whole thing is coming up, too. Funny how I'm not even connected to that anymore now that I'm not in Chicago. But anyways, have a great weekend. See you all next time. Bye.